Hello friends, this is Nirmal here for Technique, and in this video we're gonna compare two mid-range phones, the Vivo V5s with the Moto G5 Plus. So these two phones are priced below the 20,000 pricing, with Moto G5 Plus coming in two variants, 14,999 variant and also 16,999 variant, while the Vivo V5s is priced 18,999. So Vivo V5s is definitely higher priced device. It's a selfie focused smartphone with 20 megapixel front facing camera, while the Moto G5 Plus comes with a really good rear camera. So which is the better device to buy in this price segment? So let's analyze these aspects in this video. So without any further delay, let's get started. So first up, let's have a look at the design and build quality. So design wise, you can see that both these devices are completely different in terms of the design elements. You can see that Vivo V5s has a plastic finishing which has quite a similar design as that of the iPhones, while on the other hand the Moto G5 Plus comes with a unibody metallic construction which is made of aluminum, and it feels really premium. The Vivo V5s is a bigger device because of the bigger form factor. It's a 5.5 inch versus 5.2 inches screen size. So obviously both these devices are completely different in terms of the experience, because one is a bigger device, the other one is a slightly smaller device. So it's a personal choice on whether you like the smaller screen device because they are compact, while if you are a person who likes a bigger device, then the Vivo V5s makes sense. But in terms of the build quality, we would say the Moto G5 Plus is the better device here because it comes with superior build quality, looks really good, the fit and finish also looks really premium. While on the other hand, Vivo V5s is a decent build quality with the plastic finishing. Now in terms of the other aspects, you can see that the fingerprint scanner is placed on the front panel on both the phones, so that's something really common. And you can see that the power and volume keys are on the right side on both the phones. The left side houses the SIM tray on the Vivo V5s, while the SIM tray is on the top panel on the Moto G5 Plus. Now both the phones have the 3.5mm audio jack and this USB charging slot at the bottom, while the speaker is on the bottom on the Vivo V5s, while it's on the front panel on the Moto G5 Plus. So that is the design and build quality. Now let's talk about the display. So here we have a completely different specification for the display. We have a HD display, that's a 720p display, that's a 2.5D glass and Corning Gorilla Glass supported display on the Vivo V5s, while on the Moto G5 Plus it's a 5.2 inches full HD display, that's a 1080p display again with Corning Gorilla Glass support. Now the display quality looks quite good on both the phones, but we would definitely give it to the Moto G5 Plus for two reasons. One is a full HD panel and it's a smaller screen size, so pixels per inch is way higher than the Vivo V5s. But having said that, the Vivo V5s produces some really good color quality, viewing angles, and the display panel is definitely an interesting aspect of the phone. Even though you might say that it's an HD display, when compared to the full HD panel, it definitely is a good display, but we would definitely give it to the Moto G5 Plus. Now let's talk about the software. So again, this is one area where these two devices completely differ in terms of what is being offered. We have a custom UI with a fun touch OS on the Vivo V5s, while it's a stock like UI on the Moto G5 Plus. Now let's have a look at the Vivo's UI. It's a fun touch OS on top of Android 6.0 Marshmallow, so there is no latest version of Android, and you can see it comes with a lot of additional features. If you go to the settings panel, you have some added features like a smart motion, smart split screen, super screenshot, smart click, and one-handed UI. And there is also support for themes. You can download additional themes and customize the device. So these are some of the features available in this UI. It does not come with an app drawer. Instead, it has multiple home screens, and if you just swipe from the bottom, you can see this the customized quick toggle area, and this has a lot of resemblance to the iOS. So that's the UI on the Vivo V5s. Now let's talk about the UI on the Moto G5 Plus. It's a stock Android with Android 7.0. Although it's technically not the latest version, it still has the Android 7 update, and you can see the settings panel. It's exactly the same what you see on the stock Android. No issues or no additional apps installed except for the Moto app, which provides some actions, gestures, and display options. Other than that, it's a plain and stock UI. You can also see the notification and quick toggles area. It's exactly the same as the stock UI. So we have two software which are completely different. One is custom UI and one is stock UI. So it's a personal choice on whether you want a bit more customizations, then go for the Vivo V5s. And if you want the plain and stock UI with the latest Android version, then go for the Moto G5 Plus. Our choice would be the Moto G5 Plus. Now talking about the performance. The Vivo V5s is powered by MediaTek MT6750 octa-core chipset coupled with 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of storage. Now the Moto G5 Plus is powered by Snapdragon 625, which is one of the really optimized chipset, and it is coupled with 3 GB of RAM and 32 GB of storage. We have the top end variant. There is also another variant with lower storage available. Now talking about the performance of these two phones, you can clearly see that the Snapdragon 625 is way more powerful than the 6750 octa-core chipset on the Vivo V5s. The 6750 is not a really powerful chipset, it's a budget chipset, but Vivo has included that chipset in this device, and the gaming experience was kind of okay on the Vivo V5s, and we would say the Moto G5 Plus was superior in almost all aspects in terms of the performance. The Vivo V5 has the advantage that it has 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of storage. That's one really good advantage for the Vivo V5s when compared to the 32 GB storage on the Moto G5 Plus. So in terms of the performance and gaming experience, we would say the Moto G5 Plus was our choice. Now both the phones come with dual SIM cards and 4G LTE and VoLTE support. Now you can see that the Moto G5 Plus has a dedicated SD card support, and that's one really good thing about this device. Even though it does have lower storage when compared to the Vivo V5s, it has dedicated SD card support. Now both the phones have VoLTE support, so you can use your Jio SIM cards. Now the speaker performance on both these devices are quite good, but we would say the front facing speakers on the Moto G5 Plus was better. Now let's move on to the important category, that's the camera performance. So both these phones are camera focused. One is the selfie focused camera, other one has a really good rear camera. Now we have a 13 megapixel camera on the Vivo V5s with LED flash, while we have a 12 megapixel camera with a dual tone LED flash on the Moto G5 Plus. The front facing camera is 20 megapixel on the Vivo V5s, while it's 5 megapixel shooter on the Moto G5 Plus. Now talking about the camera interface, you can see that the camera performance and interface, the Vivo V5 has a lot of additional modes and features, while it's a pretty simple interface on the Moto G5 Plus. Now let's have a look at the camera samples which we have taken between these two devices. Here you can see that in daylight conditions the rear camera performance was better on the Moto G5 Plus with f-stop 1.7 aperture. That's one of the really good cameras in this price segment with that kind of aperture, and the overall sharpness levels in daylight condition and also in low light experience was better on the Moto G5 Plus. So if you're looking for a better rear camera, then go for the Moto G5 Plus, because that's our choice. Now if you're looking for selfie experience, that's one area where the Vivo V5 has a better experience. It's a really good selfie camera with 20 megapixel shooter and performs really well. So if selfies are your priority, then Vivo V5s is the better choice. Next, let's talk about the fingerprint scanner. Now both the phones have fingerprint scanners located on the front panel, and both are really good in unlocking the device. We'll just show a quick demo on which is faster, and we would say that since both the fingerprint scanners are on the front panel, both the experience are very much similar. So you can see that the Vivo V5s is slightly more quicker in unlocking the device, and the fingerprint scanner performance is better on the Vivo V5s. Now let's talk about the battery. So here we have 3000 mAh battery on both the phones, and we have fast charging included on the Moto G5 Plus. Now important aspect about the Moto G5 Plus is the Snapdragon 625, which is a really power optimized chipset, and we would say the battery performance was better on the Moto G5 Plus by a slight margin, although the Vivo V5s has bigger display. It's an HD display when compared to the full HD display. So Moto G5 Plus definitely has an edge in terms of the battery performance. So now we have summed up almost all aspects of these two phones. So which is a better device to buy here? So if you're looking for more storage and a selfie experience, that's two areas where the Vivo V5s has an edge over the Moto G5 Plus, and rest all areas we would say the Moto G5 Plus is a better choice, be it the build quality, display performance, software, overall experience in terms of the gaming, and it also has dedicated SD card support, and it also has slightly better battery life and great rear camera. So overall, in terms of both these phones, we would say the Moto G5 Plus is the better value for money device, and also the device which is priced cheaper than the Vivo V5s. So Moto G5 Plus is better overall value for money package among these two phones. So that was the detailed comparison of these two phones. So hope you like this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and also hit the red subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.